Can I first just say how this cool ass game has gotten so much cooler since the last time I played it? Okay y'all, so I watched the PS5 event reveal for the PS5 price, and they sold some games off. They revealed some games, they sold some games, they sold Demon's Souls, which was by far the best game that they sold at the event. It was a great event, but everything was pretty much whatever and trash up until they sold Demon's Souls. And there was Resident Evil as well. There was like 3 games. It was Demon's Souls, Resident Evil, and that Harry Potter game looked kind of cool too. I still stand to this date as there's nothing on the PS5 that I am even mildly interested in other than those 3 games, 2 games and a half. But there's no game that's gonna get me to buy a PS5, you know, even those 2, as cool as they look. But I got a conspiracy for the masses within the world, and you know, I'm just gonna put it out there. This is based on nothing but my own put togethers. So if you recall, like late 2019, or I don't know if it's late 2019 or early 2020, there were reports about Blue Point Games still hiring for help for positions, and it was saying like these positions that they're hiring for indicative that the game that they're working on is still very early in the process of development, or at least it's not coming out for a long while. And a lot of people believe that whatever game that they were doing wasn't going to come out until like next year, 2021. But what we found out during the PS5 event, we went from expecting a game to come out in like 2021, whatever, you know, not being a launch title, to finding out that Demon's Souls was the game that they were remaking. 2.5 months later, we find out that Demon's Souls is coming out in 2 months. So within a 2-month process of the game being revealed, we find out that the game is coming out 2 months later as a launch title. Let me repeat that one more time. The game was revealed, and 2 months after the game was revealed, we find out that the game is coming out 2 months later as a launch title. This big PS5 game that was supposedly still very early in development, because based on the reports that they were still hiring for a game that was supposed to be very early in development. So what this means is that Demon's Souls is only coming out in 2 months, less than 2 months actually, 1 month and change. Demon's Souls remake is coming out in 1 month and change. What this means is that the game is already done. The game, Demon's Souls PS5 remake, is already done. And if it's not done, which, you know, beats me because I'm not really an insider of how that industry works, but if they're not already done with the game, then they're probably just making like very minor changes. But I'm gonna say that they're already done with the game. So the game comes out in 1 month and, you know, a couple of days. So here's me putting this little conspiracy together, you know, piecing the clues together, like, well, what happened to this, you know, this notion that the project that they were working on is still very early in development, and it wasn't going to be done till years away. What if they're already working on another game? Again, this is just me reaching out into the Batman bag and trying pulling something out. You know, and even though there is nothing relating to anything of that sort, that's what I got from that event of Demon's Souls is coming out, you know, in November. It's September right now, so it's literally just like a month away. The game is already done. That means it's probably been already done for, you know, quite a while, and they've just been touching it up. So maybe that there is another project that they've already been keeping behind the scenes. In my opinion, or just, you know, just looking at it from the way everything went down, that's an incredibly fast time for this game to be done, or at least for the game to be known to the public and then just be done 2 months later. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, we just found out that this game exists and it's coming out in 2 months, technically 4 months since we've known that it existed. I don't know, man. I just think that it's worth just like a 15, maybe 7%, just 7% of a side eye and consideration, which isn't much, admittedly, but hey, that's just a small amount of, I guess, anticipation to add to the jackpot. And I stand by, based on everything that's transpired in this past year, that a strong candidate is still in our favor. And you know which favor I'm talking about. I stand by that, and there's a lot to back that up. If you look back on the every hint and everything that was said over the past year, there's a lot to, again, just speculation, nothing factual to back it up. And I stand by, I've been saying this from day one, don't believe that anything relating to LOD is true until you see somebody, and until I see somebody's nipples in HD, I'm not going to believe anything. That's been my stance from day one, and that's still going to be my stance until I see something. Somebody's nipples in HD, I ain't gonna believe anything. There's no way you're gonna get to my heart again. I've been let down for far too many years. You've been let down for far too many years, believing, and then the ball gets dropped, and like, I think just the best defensive protection for you is just wait and see. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Stay right at about the, right in that like middle lane, maybe a little bit below the middle lane. But keep that optimism up as as good as you can. But yeah, that's just what I'm going to say about that. I just think it's a little peculiar. We heard about the game is going to be like probably a 2021 game, to now the game's 2 months away from releasing. That's just a little peculiar to me, considering that all the things that we've been hearing, and they were just hiring like a few months ago, and during this pandemic, there's no doubt that this pandemic has caused, I would imagine, quite the mess, man. I can't imagine what it'd be like trying to work on such a big projects like the ones that every developer is doing right now, while social distancing at the same time. That's gotta be pretty brutal. So I can't even imagine how much COVID has gotten in the way of the industry. But they're gonna have to make games some way. The day of reckoning could be upon us sooner than later. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that, and we'll find out. I'm gonna say this, and this is just purely going off of my Egyptian Afro magician, seer's mind, gambler's mind. I'm gonna say that not until 2021 that we potentially hear about anything. But that's sooner than what I originally thought. I was thinking like going to be like 2022. But hey, we'll see. And just enjoy the time. Enjoy this time that we got. Taking it day by day, enjoying the peace. And with that, I bid you further adieu. May peace be with. Always keep your heads up. Deuces, those both adios, stay cool. Like this content, be sure to show some love. But always and always be sure to show that love to the people that matter to you. And stay cool. Peace.